Hello, I'm Elizabeth. This is your planning mentor. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are doing a setup for the month of September. And during this time, I like to set my goals. I'll also write out tasks that I want to happen in the month of September, things that probably don't need to be a goal or don't need to be part of an overarching project or something like that. I like to break my goals down into the 3 areas of self-care, which for me are mind, body, and spirit. Within the mind section, I like to break it up into 2 different areas. So I will break it up into my intellectual health and my emotional health. So let's get started. We are going to jump in here. This is the Sterling Ink Common Planner B6, and she has this beautiful, useful goal setting section in the beginning. So you can set your goals for the year, and then she has them in each quarter. So what I want to be right now is laser focused and intensely consistent. I am a big proponent of rest, and so I will make sure that I get enough rest, but I have just a few months before the end of the year, and I have some pretty big goals that I want to accomplish. I have my oldest daughter is getting married in November, and so I have some muscle type goals that I want to make. And then I also have some goals for my business, this planning mentor. I don't think of quarters like everyone else does. I think of more, I do my planning more according to the seasons. So in January and February are winter, March, April, May, spring, June, July, August, summer. And so we're just ending the summer. And now we're going into the fall, which is September, October, November. Now, I also know for me personally, the fall is my favorite time of year. It's my most productive. And so I can really pull out all the stops during this time, get ready for the holidays, finish up those business goals that I have. And it's just a really exciting time of year for me. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, I like to set my goals, mind, body, spirit, and that's spiritual, physical, emotional, intellectual, and I've color-coded them. So spiritual, blue, physical, wellness, green, emotional, all the feelings, pink, and intellectual is gray, like your brain. So I've written out some of these things, and I'm pulling this word consistent. So my first goal is that I want to be consistent with my quiet time. I haven't picked yet what Bible study I'm doing or book I'm reading. I haven't picked that yet, but that is my first thing, and that is blue. Then I want to be consistent with exercise. And that's green. And then I've put this down into 2 things that I want to do. I want to continue walking with my husband. And we have set up a daily walking habit. Continue walking with Ed. And if you have been following me for a while, I didn't mark this last night, but we did do our walk. This walking column is usually I'm walking with my husband there. And then my second thing is I have this workout that I do called T-Tap, and I want to T-Tap at least 8 times this month. And I'll put daily here because then that's measurable. All right. I want to be consistent. With your planning mentor. And that is my gray intellectual goal. And the way that I'm going to know if I was consistent is I want to grow my YouTube channel to 75 to 150 subscribers. And that is a really high goal, but I've heard that your brain achieves more when you give it a range to meet. So I don't necessarily have control over being able to grow those subscribers, but the next 2 tap things that I have here will help me to grow those. So these things I do have control over. Post 4 reels or shorts in September. And then I want to post 4 to 10 videos. Again, with that range. Now I've run out of space here, but I want to be, I'm just going to write them down here. Consistent. I don't know why I can't spell today on camera. Consistent. Oh, I did spell it correctly. Consistent with routines for house and garden. And I could write more out, but I'm just going to, and this is my emotional goal because my emotional health really depends on the state of my home and the state of my garden. And that isn't about perfection, but when I have a cleaner environment, my house is more peaceful, my brain can think, and when the weeds are pulled, I just feel better. I haven't decided if I want to put some of this over here because I'm already tracking it down here, like my quiet time and those type of things. Actually, I do know. So the quiet time and the exercise, I'm tracking on my weekly spread. But what I want to do is I'm going to put my routines with my house and garden and my tasks that have to happen here. So some of the daily things I need to do is I need to make sure, I have some of them over here, I need to create content. And that can be YouTube, Instagram, that type of stuff. I want to make sure that I'm doing stories. And then we've got IG post or reel. I also want to post in my Facebook groups or Patreon and my Patreon groups. I want to check YouTube comments. And then we're going to do house routine, garden routine. All right, I like that. All right, then I also wrote down some tasks that I want to put on my September monthly. So I just write in pencil here until it's time to write it in pen. I usually write it in pen after I know it's happened. So one of the things I need to do is I need to renew P.O. Box. I need to order dress for wedding. And I want to order snowdrops, which are bulbs for my garden that I will plant in the fall and they'll bloom in the spring. And then I want to order other spring bulbs. All right, so that is all I have right now for my setup for September. As I say in most of my videos, but I want to remind you, don't forget to put yourself on your list this month. I hope that you nurture your mind and your body and your spirit. You are worth it. I hope you have a lovely, lovely month, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.